Good morning, members. All right, let's get into it. It's 5:30 in the morning, so everything I'm going through here, not everything will be on my sheet, and there could be some scratchings and small changes. Starting with Randwick race 5, I'm starting to think there's a really good race to play because I've only really can see two good chances, and that's Cross Tasman. We were against it last start, but this start, Randwick and up 100 metres, I think it will be hard to beat. But I also gave Captain Furo with that weight a really good chance. I think Collett, although he's normally a back markers type of jockey, will cross and go to the front or up near the pace here. And if he does that, it'll be hard to beat. So $6 and 2.15 with two chances, I think's a good race to play. It's a knockout. A lot of people forgiving it last start, but it big ratings are first up, and it does like room, and forgiving it because it was first up and wide. But I thought it was disappointing because normally first up, and it does normally like a lot of room. I thought it was disappointing, and Helsing to give those horses weight, I don't think is good enough. But that's the way I see it. If it pans out that way, we'll see. I thought just the two plays you could play there with Cross Tasman and Captain Furo. Race 6, this is the order of the day, Epicaloptic of $1.60. The book is just not letting get on these boom horses. I'm not even thinking about it really. At $1.60, I just think it's too short. Barrier 1 is not ideal. Well, I'm clutching at straws here, right? But you have to when they're at this price. You have to start getting picky at this price. So barrier 1's not the best barrier. You'd have to give Savvy Halley a chance on some past performances. Plus, it's got a fitness edge and Nasrilla. Karinska, you'd give some chance. To a lesser good degree, Sunrays and Queen of Clubs. Some people giving Nepo Baby a chance, but I wouldn't be giving that a chance. But Queen of Clubs, Karinska, Savvy Halley could cause an upset. Obviously, Apicaloptic is the one. But at $1.60, it was $1.80, $1.90. You'd start thinking about it. But $1.60 is too short, even though it should be winning. Not much different here. Race 7. We might not have $1.60, but it might as well read as $1.60. I mean, what a race this is. Angel Capital, Jolly Star, Lady Shanadana, and Cabalas. And look at the market here. $2.60 for Jolly Star, $3.50 for Angel Capital, $4.20 for Lady Shanadana, and $5 for Cabalas. The market is so tight. Now, if I clearly had something I thought clearly had an edge, it would be a good price, but I don't. I mean, Jolly Star's such a good first up Randwick horse. On past ratings, you probably have that on top. Hence, the bookies have got a little slight favourite. But Angel Capital, second prep Walla, still on the way up. Our ratings say that it's as good enough and can win. Even though on past ratings, Jolly Star is the one you would have on top. And Lady Shenandoah, I mean, this horse is still maturing, was unlucky. You got to remember, it's the first up run over 1,000. Last prep was just huge, which was too short, and now this is 1,200. Cabalas, I'm pretty sure my ratings and first up, I would clearly say maybe it's clear fourth pick. I wouldn't take in the $5. I wouldn't see it as value. But then also I still see it as a spook horse, and it's trialing like a bomb. And it has been improving its ratings. Its last start before spell was its highest rating. It was a +3 above average. So with those horses, they're still lightly raced, and they did a big run at start before spell. That could be their new level. So a +3 would have him right in here. So I wouldn't totally rule Cabalas out, even though my ratings say probably goes a bit better second up. So yeah, again, there's just no room in the market, and I don't care who you are. They start picking, putting one on top here. The ratings are clearly. I don't, like I said, I don't care who you are. They start saying this horse should win or is a bet, especially out of these top three: Angel Capital, Jolly Star, Lady Shenandoah. You shouldn't be able to split them. You shouldn't. You can, like I said, because of our ratings first up. But Jolly Stars had, you got a lot more starts on her profile and say, okay, first up she peaks. This Angel Capital and Lady Shannon are more on tap, so I definitely can't split them. Race 8, number 7, Autumn Glow. This is probably out of all the favourites I'm most confident of just winning, irrespective of the price. I mean, she normally resumes over 1100, 1200. Resuming over 1400 is really going to suit her. She's such a push button horse. Like the barrier 9, she'll be able to sit wherever. But look, again, $1.50, I will say, even though she beat some good handy horses last up before a spell, horses like Linebacker and Evaporate, they're tough, good horses. I thought that was a good test for her, and she passed with flying colours. Now she's got, the Chow Wolf, Santino, and Lindemann. Even the instructor will be up there causing pressure. These are tough old horses. Steffi McNetta's got talent, and Aliana really expect big run from Aliana. This horse just wasn't mature last prep's got a lot of potential. Really excited about Aliana this prep. So we'll see what happens there. So again at the $1.50 for a straight out bet, maybe for a multi, but they are still short, these multis. You only need one to get rolled, and there's a chance for one of them to get rolled. Like I said, Autumn Glow is probably the one most unlikely to get rolled. But in saying that, this is her toughest field. First up, I don't know how much pressure in the race because they are all first up, but these older horses create more pressure first up. Again, I suppose the point I'm saying is she's too short. She is too short, and the bookies are playing it completely safe. This is the order of the day, really. This is why we don't have a lot of races we're tipping to our members. It's just that it was really hard to find value. And I found this last week as well. With these good horses coming back, they just have them way too tight in the market. You don't want to back them, you don't want to back against them. So more of a watch and see, and hopefully where the races we have found value. Okay, this is the one we've identified as value and solid rating and solid horse, and everything looks to fall in place. And that's number 4, Weeping Woman at the 440. She is favourite, so we are with a favourite. But at least there's a bit of meat in the bone at 440. Look, Weeping Woman consistently rated about a -1 below average. And she's done it more than once, which tells us there's a big chance she's ready to elevate off that rating. So, look, she's got a real fitness edge, only having a last start in December, and Pride has given her 2 trials as well. We think she's going to be really fit, and this could be run quickly, which she'll need. I'm not keen on, why I like this race is I'm not keen on Lazura, especially not keen on Lazura, not at all. Or Manal or Gerringong, even though they're class horses, the weight, giving that weight to Weeping Woman, they run about equal to average first up. So Weeping Woman was only a length off him. She's got a lot of a pull on the weights and fitness edge, and she's got tactical advantage. She'll be up there in a good position. So we thought Weeping Woman was a play. It's our first play in Randwick, all the way to race 9. It's the ones down the bottom I'm scared of, especially they run hard. I'm scared of Count Your Blessings. It was just a top run last start. I've got Dark Glitter for a very small play. Like this trainer is he just runs the horse. He's never got a top jockey on. Tyler Schiller's probably the best jockey he's had on for a while, and she mixes it with Manal, and she could have beat Manal a couple of times. So down in the weight. No trials, but last time ran first up with no trials. So, it's very hard to follow this trainer, especially for someone who runs patterns and that. This guy I'd love to see what this horse could do with a different trainer, this Dark Glitter, because she's got a lot of potential. She's going to have a small play on her. Don't be surprised if she could win. I'd leave her in the quaddies. Again, another one I don't like much. The ratings don't come up. Lilac, it's only 750 in the market. Super Norwest form, its last two wins, was able to absorb pressure, very fast pace, and then finish fast as well and down in the weight. I just thought Super Norwest is huge value, and we're going to have him as a good play today as well with Weeping Woman. So this is probably a race that I'm against the market. I hope I'm right. I think those top three can't give weight to these lower ones. I think they're underestimating these lower ones, and these top three won't fire first up to their full potential and might get caught out in a faster run race. So yeah, hopefully we get them here on price with Weeping Woman and Dark Glitter and Super Norwest. And if I was to have my next pick, it would be Count Your Blessings. Good luck there, guys. Let's go to Flemington race 2. We're on number 5, Sunsets, and gee, I like this price. I really do, because I really think this is a solid play. I mean, it's 2 runs from a spell with Hayes has just been spot on. I don't know why it had a 5-week break. Maybe to aim for something, stronger the way it was going. But this third behind uh, the Canoblus and Road Cone was a top run. They took off before the turn, and everything was off the bit, and it picked up and got going. And over the 1500, Caulfield Heath was a great run. And then after a 5-week break, it's done it again behind Narbold, and it was back, last on the roll, and Narbold sort of shifted in and balked it, and was held up and then got going again and really hit the line. So I think much better suited Flemington, much better suited 2000. Run under its belt after 5 weeks. I think it's really good value. Sunsets at the $8. Good play. We've got that play, and hopefully we get the money as our first tip early. Flemington race 2. And then we've got Flemington race 3. We don't have a play here, but again, how can you play with this market here? Sassapil obviously got a heap of potential, 220, but how could you confidently play it with Ole Dancer in the race? I've heard big things from the stable regarding Ole Dancer, how much she's improved and how mature she was last year, and they just think she's come back an absolute beast, was their words. So I'm not willing to take on Ole Dancer for Sass Appeal, and then the other way around as well. And further than that, our ratings have next gen first up over 1400. They're quite high. And I really, mark my words, this horse next gen has got the potential to upset those two. So just don't see this as a 2-horse race. So that's why I definitely want to get caught into playing this race. My friend's got Seamus Mills got Privateer here, probably not good enough, but yeah, I must admit the only one that I know Customs even tighten the market. Look at that, 220, and then a 550. You can't have a 550 when you've got 220 in the market, and the next one should be 850. So this market's really tight. But yeah, I like the top 2. I don't like Custom as much. I thought the danger was next gen, believe it or not. And again, I'm not playing. Even with next gen, I might have a very small amount on next gen, possibly, because I've got respect for those 2 fillies, but I really believe next gen could cause the upset. Race 5, Flemington. We've got number 5, Great Maximus. Number 7, Ruderal is the favourite. I mean, you wouldn't be scared of Ruderal. The Dollar's, a high rating horse that the 1200 straight might suit. But you wouldn't be scared of Ruderal, even though I can understand why it's favourite. We're not against it with this Flemington record down the straight. Great Maximus, we thought was just like a plotter. When I was, Great Maximus, just a plotter. But I didn't realise, this horse, only 19 starts, 6 wins, great strike rate, 19 starts, could be still on the way up. 2 good runs from a break. Cherry Ripe third up. And then when I look through from some of this Flemington form, I mean, over the 1400 with a decent weight with 59 kilos, gets beaten zero 0.9 of a length behind Cafe Millennium, Hill Rip and Karloff. I thought that was that's a good effort for this race. Really good effort. And then it backs it up. 28 days, has a break coming back in distance. It's not so bad after 28 days at Flemington 1200, but to Lafracus and to Bergerac. I mean, if those two win this race, they'd be the hot favourites. So I thought this horse, third up, ready to peak. D-Lane, never rode the horse, probably the best jockey's been on it so far. And ready to peak and got some good form lines down the straight. They keep backing this horse in. When I was doing the form, it was about $8, now it's around $6. So pretty keen on Great Maximus at value. Got a bit of value at Flemington as opposed to Randwick. So, yeah, look, it's hard when you haven't got some horse you can really get some cheap units off. So it is a dangerous day for us. But I am still confident. But when you got $6, $7, $8, you can't be that confident. Say, oh, okay, we're that good that we'll beat the market every time. So probably Weeping Woman is our horse where it's a more bigger unit play. But that is a competitive race. So to say we're just hanging our hat on that, and it's not cheap units, Weeping Woman, it's still going to be a tough race to win. And then we need these ones at value winning. So it is a dangerous day, but hopefully our profiles and ratings get us on top with the value. We don't need as many winners, only 2 winners. One winner could show a profit, depending who it is, and 2 winners definitely we're in the bank, we win for the day. So we're set up in that way, and it sounds easy to get 2 winners, but that's before the day. So, but yeah, hopefully we get there. Flemington race 7 we're not playing, but I've got to say Sabaj is the highest rated here. He's rated like 2 lengths above average, and like we said, once you get into that area, 2 lengths above average, and he's done it more than once, you're in good company, especially lightly raced. We believe he could go above 2 lengths above average. So this is a horse that could really emerge. But again, first up, Barrier 1, Bo Mertens, that scares me. But again, if you were going to play here, Sabaj is the one, and if it gets the luck, it'll be hard to beat. I thought Cafe Millennium, although it doesn't rate as high as Sabaj, great first up run, top horse. Celine Gaudre's really got the horse, knows the horse and gets the best out of it. I wouldn't leave Aztec Ruler out completely, Exudo and Just a Deal. So they're all chances, but I mean, if Sabaj is not too fresh and not too keen first up, and Mertens can get out from Barrier 1, he should be too good. Our ratings got him right up there, guys, right up there. Really, I'm surprised this is one of the ones the market haven't got him a bit tighter. And you can see some of, the Freo affiliate $1.60, all those ones in Sydney, $1.60 and stuff. And this Sabaj they've left a bit of meat here. But they're probably thinking the same thing, Barrier 1, B Mertens. But yeah, we'll see how it eventuates. Okay, the Lightning Sprint is very much like the one in Sydney. Very hard to split these horses. Centaurus, every first up run he hasn't rated really big. He rates big after that. So although he's the highest rater, you couldn't be confident he's going to beat these in a race. We've got a lot of big raters. BWOC's a huge rater. You think 1,000's too short. You would think that. But again, here's another one I heard is trialling, come back huge. My Gladiola, I'm telling you, this horse it's got a huge chance. I do give it a chance. It's got the form lines, win Centaurus. In the Coolmore, it already had a lot of runs, probably over the top. So I wouldn't go on the Coolmore run when Centaurus betting it easy. I'd go when He only just got up last time. Yeah, but the market at 750's got it too short. So it's not just me tipping my Gladiola. 750 is pretty short at this field. Barraquil is probably the highest rated, doesn't like the straight. Ben Allen, safe to leave that out. And of course, you'd have to give Giga Kick a big chance. So, Giga Kick, Tantaurus, BWOC, and my Gladiola, they're the ones I'd be hanging my hat on in this race. But not enough value for any straight out betting in it. Here we go with 60s. With Space Rider coming out, the horse was around $2, and with Space Rider coming out now $1.80, I'd be keen to take the $1.80 60s. I wasn't keen at the 210 with Space Rider in, but Space Rider out. I mean, this horse, again, we talked about ratings. It got around the 2 lengths above average. It should improve. Things against is the barrier Melbourne Way are going, but Melbourne Way are going Flemington, Damien Lane, I'm sure will just balance the horse up. He's going to give him a bit of a start, but he'll just give it time to balance up, and I'm sure it's going to storm home if he gives it time to balance. He should beat these horses easily, but he won't. He won't because of these reasons, because he will get back, and I think Damien Lane will give him time to balance up. But he's that much better. I think he's going to storm down the straight and look really impressive. The only danger is this horse Asakura, which has got huge potential, this horse Asakura. But it still does some things wrong. It's a bit keen on the chewy. Barry 8's not a great barrier either. And it is really the only horse that's showing real potential to challenge 60s, and it does do some things wrong. So I really like 60s. Had Space Rider come out earlier, I would have made 60s the dynamite tip. I think, again, this horse is going to be really, really hard to beat, and it's a very exciting horse. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say to that. Even though we don't have a play with our sheet, I might actually change that. But yeah, it'll be hard to beat 60s, guys. It's $1.80. Keep repeating myself. I'm really excited about this horse. I hope it does I hope it does handle Melbourne going and repeat that, because then we're really dealing with something here. Race 10, Flemington number 3, right to Arataki. It's got all the ticks, got the profile, got the ratings, should get the map advantage. But 310, that's a bit short. Definitely not playing her, even though we got her on top. I wasn't too keen on Philia, after such a long spell. Our ratings don't have it that high over the 1400, but got to respect the market when they've gone that short. Could be the lead from Ethan Brown, I'm not sure, but not too keen on Philia today. I thought Too Darn Discreet would have to be respected to a lesser degree. See what I see in Grid Girl and Paradise City. Down the rates, it could be a surprise. And Miss Tarzi first up last time. D-Lane again. That's probably the jockey to watch in Melbourne. Damien Lane, Miss Tarzi. It's definitely an aim first up 1400. She won at 50s last start at Flemington, and she can do it again at 35s. This field ain't too strong. So, look, Road to Arataki on top, too short because a little bit hard to trust. Don't want to take the 310, but we do have her on top. Eagle Farm, we've got some really good value with this heavy track that should be coming. Start with race 5, number 3. I'm not sure why this Dragon Rogue is favourite. If it was a firmer track, Miss Goldberg, I think, is a very good horse and will be hard to beat. It still will be hard to beat. But Shadwell Lane was best of the back markers behind Earn to Burn. And I think, sometimes on the heavy track, the leaders can come back to you a little bit quicker. If that happens at the 1200, Shadwell Lane, I've had my eye on this horse. Down with the 52 on the heavy track, can sit a bit closer. It'll be hard to beat it. It's got a booming finish. If you can do that same finish that it has on the firmer track, on the heavy track, it will be very hard to beat. but with a lot of respect for Miss Goldberg. Eagle Farm Race 9, we've got a big one for you here. Charla's Moment. And I did back this early, and I'm just seeing now this morning it's backed in. I backed it on the Wednesday night, I think. Knowing the rain was coming, heavy track. And it didn't come in for ages. Like, how come they're not backing it? And unfortunately for you guys, as I wanted to hold its price, it's come in a bit. It's at $26. But I took 50s. Charles Moment's got some really good heavy track form, and we'll go through that. They're talking about Steady Ready. I think this horse is flying. They say it handles the heavy, but again, these front runners, when they're running pace on a heavy track, that tires them more. We saw it with Pride of Jenny, in Flemington 1 week before on the good track, and then she ran last on the heavy. When they're running quick sectionals, okay, that was over a mile, but when they're running quick sectionals up front on these big heavy tracks, it takes it out of them. So I don't agree with Steady Ready. Even though mate, if it was a firm track, 1,000 metres, I just want to be all over this horse. I think the horse is back. It'd be hard to beat, but not on this heavy track. Same with Wanda Ruck. So I heard some people tipping that. Did like heavy. Vodka Martini, got a lot of respect for. Chakrabai is looking for a wet track, but so is Charlotte's Moment. And I put Charlotte's Moment ahead of Chakrabai. I'll tell you why. Tiger Tie, again, another front runner. Steady Ready. If there's no scratchings here, they're going to run along, and this heavy, they're going to tire themselves out. The Tiger Tie hasn't got some heavy track form. Power the Brave, obviously give a chance, but I definitely want to be on Charlotte's Moment. Look, this run behind the Black Cloud and Weight of Stars, Metal Art, that's a big formula race, right? Like the Black Cloud came out, ran a second at Randwick, Rose Hill a couple weeks ago. Weight of the Stars beat all the sprinters in Melbourne. It was a good form race, and he came from too far back and was a great run. And these back markers, when they get out of their ground, they can be disappointing. And she was well beaten the last two starts. Now, that last start at Gold Coast wasn't too bad, but you can see the pace here. Look, very slow, moderate, right? Early pace here, fast. So, look, this horse, 1,000 metres, Eagle Farm, or even and wet track. You want me to show its form here? Like, we're going way too far back here. Here we go. Eagle Farm, 1,000 metres, soft 6 beats Hidden Wealth by 1.3. Second up, and then Eagle Farm, 1,000 metres, beats Asamu, good horse. Hidden Wealth, Pete and Hidden Wealth, that's no, it shouldn't be taken lightly. And then here, Sunshine Coast on a heavy 8. This is where we're going to be. It beats Crafado, who's a great wet tracker, and Golden Boom. Like these Golden Boom, Hidden Wealth, these are the best sprinters going around in Queensland. And that wasn't that long ago. That was last prep. It's the last time I hit a heavy track, beat Crafado, Golden Boom. If you press the heavy here, yeah, only once. So, and the first up run, if it didn't do this, the first up run, and show me the horse was back, and you should always, 3 is the maximum runs you should forgive. So if you forgive those 2, this is the one. So big price. I think the conditions and everything falls into place for this horse to beat the more favoured runners at a big price. So Charlotte's Moment wins today. We'll be winning for the winning. That's the only winner we need for the day, and we'll be up. So risky play, because is she back? Is she out of form? We don't know. I mean, if she doesn't perform today, that's it. You won't look at her again, because there's everything in her wheelhouse here. As one of those comes to that point, if you don't perform today, you got everything in your favour, and that's the trust. You have to take the trust and take the price. And if they don't perform, you go, oh, well, you're gone, and you just move on. But you need to, you need to capitalise on these horses when they're these good odds. Last race we're here interested, Eagle Farm, race 10. Look, we're against the 2 favourites here. Number 8, Press Link. which is strange because we marked this horse from that win, said, geez, we want to follow this horse. It rated really well for us, but it was such a big win. And I don't know if they're going to keep this horse in and they're going to scratch it, but it was such a big win after such a long spell to back that up, second up on a heavy. It's got no wet track form. I'm against it. They're not machines. And, I hope if it runs flat, we'll be on it next start at a better price. So against Press Link, Gospel Girl's going really well. Again, another one. Went into that first up run with only one trial, and it's going to improve. Really like the way this is going, and again wanted to follow it in. But again, with the one trial and on this heavy, I think she could run a little bit flat too. The one I want to be on is Estrondo at $10. It's flying, got wet track form, is going to be fourth up, down in the weights. I really think this horse is in a purple patch of form. It's got a fitness edge on them. On this track's going to, help. That fitness edge is going to come to play more so on this type of track, and shown a handling to the wet track, and it's a great price. So we have to tip Estrondo in this situation. I'm going to have a small play on Johnny de Wolf. He's another horse that's shown real good liking to wet track, a lot of potential. He normally goes better deep in the prep, first, second, third up. He doesn't really fire, starts to fire fourth, fifth, sixth up, deeper in the prep. But again, with his wet track and price and the potential, I'm going to have a small play on Johnny de Wolf. Hey, good luck, guys. All the best. And, we've got really good value where we've looked, and hopefully we get a good win. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1800 858 858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.